Hey everyone, welcome to the Random Spirit Podcast. I am your host, Cynthia, and I am so excited to announce that I am now doing my podcast in video form. I am on YouTube. You can go on and find me on Random Spirit Podcast. That is the name of my YouTube. I'm excited. I'm able now to interact with you guys on my podcast. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, or would just like to share your thoughts on whatever episode it is that I make, you guys can go on and do that in the comments. I am so excited to share with you guys all the beautiful, amazing souls that I have connected with. It amazes me how many forms of healing there is, right? And it's just so beautiful to connect with someone that is aligned with you and that wants to make the world a better place and that is helping the collective and helping raise our vibrations. Today's episode, I interview an amazing soul. Her name is Ina June. She is a massage therapist. She reads Akashic Record and she is a quantum healer as well. Ina, I cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your busy day to be interviewed by me and to chat with me and to talk spiritual stuff and about Akashic Records. I appreciate you so, so much, and I hope you all enjoy this episode. Ina has a freebie at the end of this episode, so go on and listen in so you can go on and check her out. I hope you all enjoy. All right. Welcome, Ina June, to my podcast. Thank you so much for being here, girl.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. So you are like a psychic, right?
I would say more of like an intuitive, someone who can just tap into the energy and read what's going on with someone,
Mm-hmm.
and just channel information from source and also read the Akashic Records. So that's basically, just one of the many things that I do. So more of like
Okay.
spiritual stuff.
All right. What else do you do?
So I've actually coined myself as a quantum guide. So just working in the quantum field and helping people raise their vibration by letting go of old belief systems and programming and just elevating their vibration and awakening to their consciousness. Um, and, just working on letting go of the past
Yeah.
and really releasing that from our body, our energetic field, and creating a physiological change within our body.
I love that. I feel like we need more of that. We need more people like you, as a guide
Yes.
to
Well,
assist.
and the really cool thing is I'm just the facilitator. I am just there to lend a helping hand to things that the individual already knows is there, and just holding the space and giving them permission to really just let it go and to really get back to their purest form, who they really are before life, before trauma, before disappointment. And so it's really cool. I'm just facilitating someone's growth, and
Hmm.
so I would say that's it.
That gets me so excited. I love that. Tell me a little bit like about yourself. You don't need to go deep into like your whole life story, but what you feel is like relevant. And then like I guess from like then to like now, how did you get here?
Oh, yes. So I'm a massage therapist. So I've been doing it for about 20 years. And just through, I started working with this coach a spiritual business coach who I'm like, okay, I'm going to work with her. I'm going to have her help me in getting more massage clients. Yeah, that was totally not it. She said, you're not going to be doing massage anymore. You're going to be doing other things. You're going to be using more of your gifts. And then that's when everything changed. So, really, this whole entire time, I was just dimming my own light, just telling myself that I'm only a massage therapist. But as time moves on, and as I've worked with this coach, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm actually more than that. I have more capabilities. I have more gifts. I can feel in my DNA what it is that I'm supposed to do. And so that's been a really interesting journey because I've been doing massage for so long, and now doing this work, it's completely different than what I've been doing. But it's beautiful because it's more effective and long lasting for the individual than going and getting a massage. And so that's been the really interesting part, is just kind of switching gears, but realizing within my own self that remembering my own power. And the really cool thing is, as I remember my own power, my own strength, what I'm supposed to do, that helps me with my clients, because then I know that if I can remember my power and my mission, they can remember theirs as well. Like, we each all individually have a mission here on earth.
Yes.
And so it's just really cool to be a part of that and yeah.
You assist people with like knowing their mission, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. How does like so you incorporate your massage with like your intuitive um like
Yeah.
is it like a can you like just describe how that is? I've never heard of that.
So typically what happens in a massage is, I don't
Hmm.
really like to talk. I like to, I like to be quiet. But what happens is, as I'm working on someone, all of this information comes in. And then at the end of the session, I kind of talk to them and tell them what were some of the things that were coming up, what they could be related to, if they're present, or anything from the past. And then on a separate, and if they want to dive more into that information, then I can use the Akashic Records to go into more depth of what that information was trying to tell us, um, or what that person needs to work on. And so that's kind of how I started on this intuitive spiritual journey. And so now I am just branching away from massage and using my
Hmm.
intuition in other ways. And so
Hmm.
I do have this, it's called a quantum energetic recharge, where I use the Akashic Records, hypnosis, and superconscious recoding to really hit all aspects of the superconscious mind, the subconscious mind, and also the body, to really fully let go, and also reprogram the subconscious mind. So, but I use that with the Akashic Records to help get information, and the
Hmm.
content of what it is that they need to heal from. And sometimes they don't even realize or are
Yeah.
aware that they have this particular programming that is playing in the background. And so the records are a really cool way to tap into that, and then for an effortless release.
Yeah. Huh. Do you normally like set an intention before the massage, like, or does the person set the intention?
Yes, I typically set the intention. It's just more of like a guidance. What is it that they need to hear, or what is it that they, just what do they need to know today? Because everyone that does come on my table, they're there specifically. It's a connection. Like, they're supposed to be there. We were supposed to meet, and that happens. I mean, everyone that I work with, it's this automatic connection, kind of like the connection that I have with you. It's
Yes.
so it's that same way whenever I work with somebody, which is really
Hmm.
interesting because we have our soul clients, we have our soul family,
Mm-hmm.
and as we're going through this awakening process, we
Mm-hmm.
are slowly meeting our soul family and our soul clients.
Yes,
Yeah.
I truly believe that. I feel like we're everyone's a reflection of you. Everyone you meet, there's like a reasoning. There's whether it's a lesson, whatever. That's what I feel, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and I think people kind of like sometimes people are like, oh, they're looking at someone and they're like, wow, I wish I was like that. I
Mm-hmm.
do that. But we don't even realize that the reason why we see those things in them is because those things are inside of us.
Right? You just
Yeah.
need to believe. You need to find it. That's where you come into the picture, right?
Yes, yes. I am the one that helps you remember, not even
Mm-hmm.
believe, but just remember who you were in other lifetimes, in past lives, and that it's naturally in your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of you, not something that you just think that you're interested in because you're being influenced, but more
Yeah.
of it's a part of you. It's been there the whole time, and you're just slowly waking up to it or
You're
remembering it.
unlocking things out here,
Oh,
girl.
yes,
Love
unlocking
it.
it. Yes.
What drives you to continue doing what you do? The amazing work that you do.
Yeah, I would say just watching people transform before
Mm-hmm.
my eyes and even just feeling them, feeling them how they started and then feeling
Mm-hmm.
how they feel when they leave. It's like they're a completely different person, like, and so that is what keeps me going because it's like I get to watch miracles every day. And it's
Mm-hmm. You make them. That's so
yeah.
I love that. Okay. What did you want to be when you grow up? Like, did you have anything?
When I was younger, what did I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I grew up in San Diego, and San
Mm-hmm.
Diego is very fast paced, very
Yes.
survival mode. So I think just part of my programming and conditioning was just get a job, like find a good place to work, pay your bills. And so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really, I remember one time though, actually, when I was little, I told my mom
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a cocktail waitress.
Okay.
I was really little, who like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I don't think, yeah, I think I was just surviving because,
Mm-hmm.
in that environment, that's what you're conditioned to do is survive and pay your bills and like go to work. So
Mm-hmm.
everything changed when I moved out of San Diego and moved into Colorado. And then that's when I went to massage school. And then that's where I always feel like everybody should go to massage school because it was such a healing experience for me.
Really? What got you like wanting to do that? What got you into wanting a massage?
So funny story, before massage school, I never
Mm-hmm.
got a massage. I had never even
Oh.
yeah, had one at all. I just had this calling. It was like I just
Mm.
had to do it. And so I went to massage school and then yeah, and then in doing that, I think
Mm-hmm.
when my intuition started to really come into play because there's a lot
Yeah.
of quiet time. There's a lot of silence
Mm-hmm.
massage. And so that's mainly kind of how the information would come in is through massage.
Huh. Is
Yeah.
it like it's like meditative, right? When you're like massaging, it's like quiet. You're probably like in a meditative state.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're
Were
just
you were you spiritual before like you went into massage?
so I wasn't spiritual before, but there are things that I would always be interested in, like Oracle decks or like reading my, you know,
Really?
but yeah, I wasn't really I mean, even now, like you were saying earlier, talking about the
Hmm.
moon, and
Hmm.
even now I'm like, oh, I'm not a moon person. I don't do things
Yeah.
by the moon, you
Hmm.
know. But yeah, so I wasn't really very spiritual before. So
Hmm.
it's just all very
Okay. Okay. What belief system did you grow up? So that was not part of the questions. I'm going like we're just vibing, girl. I'm sorry. I'm like throwing things at you.
okay. It's okay. So, we didn't really, I mean, we would go to church, but only like for the holidays. We wouldn't really go on, every Sunday. In my 20s, I did get baptized because I
Hmm.
kind of had like a really hard time in my 20s, but I did get baptized. And then I was kind of going to church for a little bit, and then I kind of just fell off and stopped going. Um, and it probably wasn't until, I mean, I'd say probably the last 2 years that I've been having these epiphanies of, oh, like, oh, Christ consciousness. Oh, I am powerful. Oh, it's God in us. Like we're the creators and the manifestors, and we have the power. And oh,
It's just a bunch of that. Yeah.
just my own spiritual awakening and awakening to my own power, and really just realizing that everything around us has been created to keep us separate from our soul, from our spirit, to like keep us in the grind, to keep
That
us
is so
programmed.
strong. I
Yeah,
100%. More people need to talk about that
yeah,
because 100%, it's like we're separated. We
yes.
come into the world separated.
Hmm.
Have you
Yeah.
ever, like, so I guess when you were like going to church, like growing up, did you ever have a relationship like with God or like with spirit, with Jesus, like anything on the other side?
I never really did. I never really did. Even when I was kind of going to church, and then I was trying to, but
Yeah.
I felt I felt so unworthy that trying to have a relationship with God when I'd feel unworthy, and then going to church and like still feeling unworthy, I'm like, why would he want to have a relationship with me? But this is more like in the context of like church, right? Now it's different. It's more of like, oh, actually, like unconditional love no matter what. Like, just like I have this unconditional love for my kid, it doesn't, or my kids, like, it doesn't matter if they do something wrong or make a mistake, I'm still going to love them, but I just feel like in the church, it's another portion of like the separation, and to keep you feeling that unworthiness or that undeserving, when really, as a parent, we don't want our kids to feel unworthy or
Yeah.
undeserved. We want to build their confidence, their love, and their beliefs within themselves. And I feel like in the spiritual path, on the spiritual side,
Hmm.
or spirituality,
Hmm.
that's what it's about, so it's kind of like, this interesting separation between like going to church and then like
Yes.
spirituality, and that's another
Hmm.
like separation that people don't really um understand is what's happening or going on.
Yeah.
I don't normally talk about things like this, so I'm like, wow, what's
Right.
on?
Right. I don't really like talking like about like the church. I'm not like judgmental or anything. This is a lot like all I'm gonna say. You got like for me, it's like the spirituality, the spiritual path, whatever you want to call what I'm on, is like loving without any conditions. It's unconditional love. And then
Yeah,
like, when I was going to church and stuff, it was like conditioned. It was rules. It was if you don't do this, like you're going to hell.
yeah,
This
yes.
whole time I thought I was going to hell. Oh my
Right? Yeah. And so it's like
God.
God is all loving. He wouldn't say that.
Right?
He wouldn't, yeah, I mean, the thing is we are all, we are all God consciousness and fragments of God
We're
experiencing
all
it,
connected.
yeah, experiencing itself in human form. So,
Mm,
like you're God, I'm God, like everybody around us is, and we're all
yes,
experiencing this human existence. So it's a delicate
right?
topic.
You
Yeah.
gotta watch what you say.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, we got carried away. I'm sorry, girl. Wow. It's just like, it's so interesting to see, like, you know, what I like to say is like everyone's path to source, because I mean, I feel like we all get there. Everyone's path is different. And it seems like you have your intuition dinging, right? And telling you massage. That is so, wow. That is so beautiful. That really is. Like, did you ever, no, you probably never imagined even doing what you're doing right now, right? Like younger you.
Yes. Yes. Younger me had no idea. I mean, I was on the phone, was it yesterday or the day before, to one of
Mhm.
my friends, and I was telling her, I said, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm tuning into more past life stuff on people. So even like my gifts, even still now, my gifts are my my intuitive gifts
Yes.
resume still increasing till this day. And so yeah,
Hmm.
when I was younger, I never would have thought. But I thought I felt so I thought so low of myself when I was younger,
Yeah.
And so, but I'm
Same.
also, yeah, but I'm learning it's it's the it's the ones who never experienced love and the ones who um really, I mean, we all feel undeserving and unworthy. Uh,
100%.
and so, but it's like there's a kind of this perfect combination where um the healer comes in, and it's always the one who just feels extremely unworthy, who was never shown any love, who was
Hmm.
given any attention,
Hmm.
the ones who end up being the healers, the one,
Right?
yeah,
You
that do.
make me want to cry. Why? What are you doing, girl? It's like you're talking to little me and she wants to come out. I'm like, no. No, but you give very motherly energy. Like I
uh,
just feel like, you know how like I said, because like what I'm wearing like a little like tube thingy. I'm like naked, and it's like funny because it's like that's how I feel right now. Like
uh,
speaking to you,
yeah.
I feel like vulnerable. I feel like safe. What's your sign again? Are you a water sign? Gemini?
Gemini. Yeah, I'm a Gemini. I know. But
Do
I
you know
told
your
you
big three?
I don't know my big threes. I
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah. I remember you told me that. But you're a Gemini. You are a loving Gemini. It's funny. I have a lot of trauma with Geminis. I think I told you this before. And it's so crazy because it's like, as I'm getting like more and more and my intuitive gifts are developing and stuff like that. All these like, I mean, you can't base someone off their like sun sign, but like all these like signs that I've had trauma with are coming into my life. And it's like, I feel like someone can embody like the good Gemini and the bad Gemini. And I've
Mm.
had nothing but bad experiences with the bad Gemini. And then here you come with a motherly, loving like energy. Good Gemini. I think that's beautiful. I
I'm gonna
really
be
do.
I'm gonna be the Gemini to, break down all those
Right? No,
barriers for you.
really, really 100%. Like you embody the the good from like what like just like in your energy. I just want to cry. I want to tell you my life story and cry, but we're not going to do that, okay? I'm not going to fall into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the most challenging um thing about what you do, whether it's like your life, your work, right?
Yeah. I think just choosing, it's so easy to just be human and,
Yeah.
um, kind of also go like divert back to our same old patterns and ways.
Yes.
And so I think it's more so continuously choosing to be on this spiritual path, but also choosing choosing me, choosing
Hmm.
ourselves. Like I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to um not give in to these narratives that I have going on in my head. I'm
Do you
going,
ever feel like you lean more towards like, fuck it, I'm done? Like, do you ever feel like that?
that's my first, depending on the situation,
Hmm.
I'm like, I'll say, you know what, forget it, and then I'll call up one of my spiritual friends and then they're like, well,
Hmm.
you got to work on this and you got to work on that, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, fine, but not today. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
hmm.
because I'm a person too. I'm not,
Yes. Hmm.
I'm not I have my own journey and go through my own stuff, but yeah,
Yeah.
have to choose me, the essence of who I am every day versus
No, yeah.
created myself to be just to survive,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hmm. Do you have any like difficulties like grounding?
I actually just bought these grounding sandals the
Oh,
other day.
really? The
Yeah.
one with the grass?
No, not with the grass. They have these like copper circles on the bottom of.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I just bought some, but typically no, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty grounded,
Yeah.
Sometimes I might feel a little off, but for the most part, I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty grounded person, but I think that has just come with time. I wasn't
Yes.
all like that, and because of the work that I do, I also just have to make sure that I am fully present and available.
100%.
So,
What is your way of like grounding? What do you do?
I would just say I like probably just connect with my higher self. Like
Hmm.
before we got on today, I was
Yes.
kind of sitting here and connecting. But I would say that's basically it, just kind of spending like
Yeah.
5 minutes, just kind of connecting to my higher self. So, yeah,
Okay. Do you feel like that's important for us to do?
I do. Yes. Even when we don't want to, because it just reminds us that yes, there's all of this stuff outside, all of this human stuff going on. But just by connecting to your higher self, it's like it just brings this sense of peace and strength. Like, okay, like it's not that big of a deal. It feels like a big deal. It feels like too much or overwhelming, but what, do I really need to clean right now? Like, do I really need to do this? Like, what do I really want to do?
Yeah.
It's summertime. I mean, it's summertime for you well, whatever. It's summertime,
Yeah.
right? Kids are out of school. I'm like, what I really want to do is I really just want to leave the mess and like go have fun and then come
Yeah.
later. That's,
Yeah. I
so
feel you on that. 100%. Um, what advice would you give someone that is wanting to do the work that you do?
I would say just learning how to trust your intuition, learning how to
Hmm.
trust what your body is telling you, and just getting back in tune and back in touch with your body because our body is going to tell us if something is true or right or real or dangerous, our body is,
100%.
yeah. So just getting comfortable with trusting what your body is trying to tell you. I mean, even down to watching a movie or
Mm-hmm.
into music or even eating something, that
Mm-hmm.
our body is going to tell us if we don't want to
Mm-hmm.
watch, listen, or see, hear, or ingest something we're about
Do
to
you
eat.
feel like it's different for everyone? Because, like, I've had like a lot of, um, people be like, oh, like, but like, what is my body telling me? Like, do you have like a specific way of, connecting with that?
With the body, I mean, so
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of people that are walking around disconnected from their body. And so even just starting with the feet and just like putting your feet into the ground and then really feeling the earth or the floor with the bottom of your foot. That's a great way to kind of bring the head and the body together. Um, that's kind of one helpful way because I remember when I was in massage school and I had this session, and then afterwards I stood up and I was like, oh my gosh, I can literally feel the ground. I'm like, wow, I never felt the ground before. Like
Mm-hmm.
never felt the ground before. And so I would say, like grounding would be really nice and really being
Right?
intentional with like feeling, feeling the whatever the surface with the
Yeah.
bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my favorite way to do it. I maybe because I'm an earth sign. I like when I connect with like the ground, the grass, dirt. I feel like the vibration, and it just feels like so good, so
Yeah,
loving.
I'm getting this like vision of you like just like pulling earth toward you like a warm fuzzy blanket. That's
I
what I
love, I love, love, love being outside when it's not like burning hot.
yeah, when it's a
I
couple.
love, yes, back in California, I love, love, love like the beach. But definitely, yes, grounding so that like you can connect with your intuition. Um, what is your favorite thing like in the work that you do?
It's really cool because the space that I work in, like
Hmm.
the way the energy feels, that's the really cool part. It's just working in this space filled with unconditional love,
Yes.
and being in that space, multiple
Hmm.
times a day. It's I would say that would be
I
my,
love that. Oh
yeah.
my God. Have you ever had like a difficult person that you've worked with or you've tried to?
Yeah, I
How
mean,
did
there's
that go? I mean,
like,
you don't have to like go deep into it, but
yeah, like difficult as far as like not being able to like get into their field, so to speak. I don't really know how to explain it, but or difficult like personality wise.
personality wise.
Um, I haven't really come across anyone with a difficult personality. I'm actually really good at like,
Maneuvering and
yeah, and like, feeling like, oh, here's a hard spot. Like, where's the soft spot? And
yeah.
then I
Hmm.
find that. So I'm pretty good at kind of like eventually them easing
Hmm.
their wall a little bit. And then I kind of go in. So I haven't really had a difficult person yet. But at some point,
Okay. Have you had like a skeptic that was just like, well, like, I don't necessarily like believe in what you do, but I'm gonna go on and like do it. Have you
so
ever had anyone like that?
Yes, like without them saying it, I did some readings at a party, and I had someone
Okay.
come, and I could feel they were like testing me, but they were also curious. Like they had this question, but then they're also
Right.
asking at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens to me is, because I'm human too, is at first I didn't recognize what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt like a fraud, because I'm like, hello, is there any
You're picking up on their energy.
information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so no information was coming in. And then I said, okay, you know what? I might just be distracted. And I said, just give me 1 minute. And then from there, then I was, answering
Yes.
her question. And then information was coming in. But yeah, I would say that I had not experienced that up until that
Before.
point. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, well, at least like for me, like how it goes for me, like I'm going to feed off your energy. Like literally, it's like a reflection. Like if I like all of a sudden I'm just like, I don't want to do this reading, I'm like, well, damn. Like, and then like, I'll go on and like I'll start like asking the person like questions and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, like I can see like why are you gonna like come to a space where it'd be nice for you to be open, but you're gonna be so closed off.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, we as like, healers and spiritualists, like we can see right through you, regardless of whether you want us to or not. Can you define the Akashic records? Like what's the difference between an Akashic record and like a reading?
So I guess it would depend on if it's an intuitive reading or a psychic
Hmm.
reading. The
Yeah.
best way I can explain the Akashic record is it's an energetic field of your soul's experiences in throughout all of its incarnations in our present lifetime, in past incarnations, and even other lifetimes. I mean, our soul doesn't just come to Earth. There are other places that our soul travels to.
Right.
So it has record of every thought, every belief, every experience, every feeling,
Hmm.
everything goes up into this energetic field. And then that's why you can tap into it. So yeah, I had my record read one time and
Hmm.
asked her, how many incarnations have I had here on Earth? And she said, this is the first one. And I was
I
like,
remember you telling
yeah, I'm like, that makes so much sense then.
me.
That
Yeah.
makes Just thinking about my life and reflecting, I'm like, that makes so much sense. And the really
Hmm.
cool thing is that this was like a realization I had a couple months ago because I was thinking
Hmm.
about it and I'm like, oh, if this is my first lifetime here and I'm now this age, I'm like, I came to Earth to be here at this particular time, you
Yeah.
know, and to do this kind of work. Like I came to be a part of helping humanity and helping the shift and switching from the old
Hmm.
new Earth. And I'm like, oh,
Helping raise people's vibrations, like you had said.
yeah,
That's
yes. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And the interesting thing is, I said earlier, I didn't think very highly of myself in my younger years. And so
yes.
it's to this realization of, oh my gosh, I came here with this
Hmm.
mission to help raise the vibration. Like what better
Hmm.
lesson to have, being young and not
Hmm.
feeling all these things about myself
Hmm.
to waking up to my power and being able
Hmm.
to share that with others.
Hmm.
And so
I
it's been,
love that.
yeah, journey.
Okay, so what happens? Because like, what happens if someone wants like a specific something? They come to you and they're like, yeah, like I want to know my ex-boyfriend's past lives. Like, what it would your response be to that?
So with the Akashic record, there is an
Mhm.
ethics to it. So
Mhm.
I would need permission from that
Mm-hmm.
person whose record it is.
Yeah.
And so I would just have, I would say, I would kindly tell them like I wouldn't be able to do
You
that.
can't. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's,
It's
it's
not your soul.
thank you. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it's not
Mm-hmm.
my soul. And I've been entrusted with the capability of being able to do this, and I don't want to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I want to still keep it sacred, and I
Yeah.
don't want to do anything,
100%.
to harm anyone else. Yeah.
Okay. So what if there is someone that comes to you and they're like they're asking something, but like, the is it called the gatekeeper, the person with the book in the Akashic Records,
So
the
every
guide?
right. So everyone taps into the record differently. I think everyone
Yes.
so my
Mhm.
experience is there is a gatekeeper who meets me in this chamber. It looks like this dark stone chamber, and then this
Mm.
this gatekeeper like comes and meets me, and then he's always smiling, and sometimes I'll go in there like 3 4 times a day,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hi, it's me again. Me again,
Okay.
so it's different
Gatekeeper.
for
It's
everyone, but
different for everyone.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what if there's information that someone's like coming to you, like, I want to know this, but then like the gatekeeper is just like, no. But then like the person is just like insisting, but trying to find ways to like, you know?
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation? There are some people that are very like persistent and just want to know like things that they're not ready for, you know?
Yeah. So so it's sometimes the information comes with the feeling, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll tell me something, or I'll
Mhm.
see something, and then I'll get
Yeah.
this feeling of, but don't, but don't.
Okay, okay,
Why did
yeah.
you say something? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Then they're
Yeah.
like, wait, wait. And so, it's sometimes there's like this feeling attached to, but just hold on, don't say anything quite yet.
Mhm.
Or sometimes they won't give any information at all. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Have you ever tapped into like anything like trauma, I'm just like gory, like just some messed up stuff?
So that's so funny you asked that, because I had this client last week, and she came in for a massage, and then we also ended up doing a reading, and
Yeah.
she was telling me about she had surgery, and then
Okay.
sometimes when it's like a major connection, I mean, I just went straight to her surgery.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I, I didn't really, I have to sometimes choose my words wisely, because you don't want to like scare someone. But
Yes. Yeah.
the,
Yeah. Yeah.
the sensation was that when she had the surgery, the person the surgeon really enjoyed the gory side of the surgery. That was, but of course I couldn't tell her that.
Well, yeah. 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 Yeah.
Instead, I was just like, this wasn't a very good person. You know,
Hmm.
this person seems maybe a little evil, so but yeah, I have had kind of that kind of experience.
Wow. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Jeez. Um, do you believe that we've all like done some like just messed up just stuff like in our previous lives? Like we all as humans have and maybe even like in other worlds and realms where like there was at least one life where you were just like whether it's like a murderer or just like done some like evil stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's certainly, it's like it's our soul, right?
Yeah.
So we can either decide to come in here as male or female, we choose
Mm-hmm.
difficulty of the level of difficulty of the
Mm-hmm.
life we're going to be living when we come here. And so, sometimes like karma or karmic connections is,
Yes.
if let's say for example there's like an one abusive person in the relationship,
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
and then throughout their lifetime then they die, but then they have to come back and then they switch roles, so whoever was the abuser in that lifetime becomes the receiver in this new lifetime, because they
Mm-hmm.
in the last lifetime they didn't learn their lesson between each other, so then they have to come back and do it again. So yeah, I mean, I believe that we all experience all facets of the
Yes.
good, the
And the
bad.
bad. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's also, we are here on earth for our soul to evolve, for evolution.
Yes. Yes.
And so therefore our soul not has to, wants to experience all
Mm-hmm.
different facets, and emotions and everything so that
Mm-hmm.
it can evolve.
I love the Akashic Records. I love it. Oh my goodness. Are you able to like tap into someone's past life and just be like, okay, just like for instance, right? Let's just say like, you know, me and like my husband like come to you and we're like, oh, like, can you do like that where like you can connect to both and then like don't obviously you won't tell us from like baby to like dead, but just like tell us parts that are relevant to this life that we're living?
Yeah. So when you're asking questions in the
Yeah.
record, they have to be very specific questions.
Mm-hmm.
The more specific the question, the more specific the answer, the more vague.
Yeah.
So the more vague the answer. And so if you're asking about a past life and then,
Yeah.
like, then it will bring up kind of past lives and anything that is relevant to helping you on your journey right now. So, for example, I had one client who I had done a reading for her before, and we
Yeah.
had found out that she was a witch in a past life. And
Ooh,
yes,
I love that.
and then she was also telling me how she is so drawn to Japan. And she's like, I think I had a past life there. And so just recently we went back and we did
Yeah.
a reading, and we found out that she was a concubine, a head mistress, like concubine to
Okay.
Genghis Khan, and that her daughter-in-law and her grandbaby were in that past life with her too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
is so
husband,
crazy.
and her husband was in there as well.
Soul family,
Hmm.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Well, and it was so funny because I was telling her, I said, oh, yeah, there's like, I can see this courtyard. It's kind of this
Hmm.
royalty, setting, like very
Yeah.
distinct, very rich. And then she said, and then when I found out it was Genghis Khan that she was living with, then she said, well, am I his wife? And then I closed my eyes and I looked at her and I said, oh, you were the concubine. And she said, that sounds like me. Like, we hear things, and that's when when it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it just feels right. It feels like on some other level, I just know that to be true, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh my goodness. Have you ever tapped into anyone else like yourself that's like, girl, or like this is your first incarnation here on this earth? Have you ever
I
had
have yet,
that?
I have yet to meet someone who's only been here one time. So I have yet to meet that, yeah, person.
Have you ever like tapped into like your previous lives in another, like on, so is it just like in another galaxy, like on a specific planet or multiple, like what, girl? Like,
It's
give us
deep,
a tea.
all of the above.
Okay.
All of it's the multiverse. It's your, because your soul, our soul is
Mhm.
infinite, right? It's
Mhm.
infinite, it's multidimensional, it's everywhere all at the same
Yeah,
time, all at once, right?
time is not real.
Yeah. And so it's across everything, all of it. And
Hmm.
it's hard for us to
Even grasp that.
understand.
I'm just like, my ego is just like, but ask her more. And I'm just like, Cynthia,
Yeah,
it's a lot.
it is a lot.
Okay. It's a lot to wrap around your head because, like, I believe that there's more to even like what we've discovered. There's more to even our galaxy. Imagine, girl. What is it? Is it the Milky Way that we're in? Imagine the other galaxies and just like the worlds that they're in. And it's just like a billion of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, my head,
Right.
even thinking about that,
Yes.
but that's just like what I believe. I feel like it's just like a bunch, a bunch, a bunch. Okay. So it seems to me like you're clear, sentient, like intuitive, like you feel, and clear cognate, and clear audient, you hear spirit, right?
I think I'm still trying to figure it out, but I feel like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
of all of it. It's like,
Yes.
but I
You
would say
can, yeah.
mostly vision, and then followed up with
Mm.
feeling, because sometimes I'm like, I have to say this, otherwise this feeling's not going to go away.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
100%.
But then hearing, I would say that would come last, but the visions, the seeing, and then the feeling would be like the top two.
Wow, we have the same thing. I do the same thing with my stuff. My huge one is like the vision. And then like I have the same thing with you. Like especially when I do like mediumship, I connect. I absolutely like when I first connect, the person will like tell me how they died and like I'll feel whatever it is. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to say whatever this is because if not, it's not gonna go
Yes.
away.
And I do that same thing when I open up the record, and then I
Yeah.
begin with I'm feeling this, like it feels like you feel like
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, yes." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm there." You know? Okay,
I love that. It's so exciting. I think this is like the dangerous thing. Well, not in a bad way, but it's like, when I first got into like spirituality, when I didn't know what I was gonna do,
Mhm.
girl, I was just like getting into like everything. There's like Reiki, there's Akashic Records. Is it Akashic, or does it like matter?
I believe it's Akashic. I mean, that's what I
Akashic? Okay. Yeah, there's like the shaman stuff, and then I just get into like I get super like excited, like my inner child goes like, "Oh my God." And then I just go down this like, is it the word what is that? Is it the wormhole or the rabbit hole that never ends? Whatever
it's
hole that never ends.
the
I
rabbit
I
hole.
go down that. I go down that and then I'm just like, because with the Akashic records, I could ask like 10 hours of questions and not get tired. But wow, that sounds awesome. Does the gatekeeper have a name?
He does not have a name, but he wears this, like in Renaissance times with the what the priests would wear, the brown like
I
robe.
feel so connected to that.
He,
Yes, yes, yes.
he's
That's the vibe that I get. Does he have a beard?
he doesn't have a beard, but he has like blonde, like curly, short hair.
Okay, all right. Do you ever like, this is my ego taking it. Do you ever just like talk to him, or is it just like strictly business? Like, I'm here, I have a client.
Funny. It is. It's strictly business, but he's funny. Like
Yeah.
sometimes kind of smart, like my eyes are closed and I, because I'm tuning in
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
laugh because he's funny. And I'm like,
I love
so, yeah, because sometimes he's like, so I actually have my record open right
that.
now. I was
Yeah.
tapping
Mhm.
it yesterday, but there were times where I would leave my record open and then forget to close it. And then
Mhm.
I would try to open a client's record while mine was open. And he'd be like, did you forget?
Hello.
You know? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me just close my record real.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's funny. It's hilarious.
Okay, is the that person in the record the gatekeeper? He's ascended already. He's not coming back, right?
I don't think so. I mean, we choose to come back. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think yeah, I think that's just what he wants to do right now. But
I love that.
funny thing is the past, just recent, I think this,
Hmm.
I've
Yeah.
done a couple of readings and he hasn't met me at the gate, and I'm like, am I
Okay.
hurt, but I'm like, I'm in the chamber and I'm like, is anybody home? But
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
getting information. He's just like a greeter. And I was talking to one
Mm.
of my friends and I told her, I said, my gatekeeper haven't met him. And she's like, oh, yeah, everyone's been really busy. Like they're all busy doing other things.
That's
And
amazing. I love that.
right. And so I'm like, okay,
Wow.
well, that makes sense. So it's like the people don't realize that the spirit world, the spirit realm is real. Like
It is.
yeah, this physical existence, who's to say that this is reality? What about when we go to bed? That and we go to sleep and we're in the astral. Like who's to not say that that is actual reality?
Hmm.
Right. And so there are all these things going on in the background that
Hmm.
we're not even aware of, like spiritual wars, right? Just all these like spiritual things that we aren't even awake to. And so,
Right?
yeah. And so it makes sense, like if they have just been kind of off tending to other things, because it's a pretty intense time right now for
Yeah,
humanity.
it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, we need
Wow.
all the help we can get.
Right? Right? Huh. I'm trying not to get off topic. My brain is just like, ask these questions. I'm just like, wow. Ah, I love the Akashic Records. Mm. I'm trying to see what else my brain is trying to like muster up because like it's funny how like you said like the spiritual warfare and like I don't know if it's like my imagination that is just like like the movies when like you have I guess like a protector, a guard, a gatekeeper, and then like here the bad guys come and then they're just like fighting. I'm like, has that ever happened in the Akashic Records? I don't know.
I don't think in the records, but maybe like outside, maybe outside.
Right?
The records are more of like this energetic field, and I feel like they're not, you can't, it's everyone's soul, so you can't,
Yes, yes.
you can't be messing around in there, you know?
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's just like outside,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
strongly protected.
Hmm.
Okay, all right. Okay, that was a good chat. I
Yeah.
loved it. I have like a strong connection with you, girl. Once my life, like once the kids go back to school, I'll be messaging you more. 'Cause
I get it. Summertime
it's
is
a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Do you teach your children like spirituality, like or like what your beliefs are? Like, how does that look for you?
Not directly. Like
Yeah.
my daughter and I, sometimes we have like one-on-one time, and then I just kind of help her tune into her crystals and
Okay.
time with her. She has a little zodiac tarot deck. So I have her kind of spend some time in that.
Cute.
And then sometimes they'll be like, Ina, can you read my record? I'm like, okay,
Oh my God.
So
Is
yeah.
there any information that is like, how do I put it? Is there anything that you receive that the gatekeepers like, I just want you to know this, but don't tell them? Or no?
With them, so my stepdaughter, she's still young. She's
Yeah.
13. When she
Hmm.
was, I think 11 or 12 was when she,
Yeah.
wanted me to read her record. And I was
Hmm.
asking these pretty mature questions. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. And then it was like, and then like an elevator, ring, and they brought me all the way down and then stopped and said, okay, you can ask from here. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I had to just change my questions to just where she is at. I was asking these questions that we would ask, right? But
No,
she's,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, but she,
Dang, we have a mature soul here that wants to.
right? Yeah, so that was,
Wow.
so they'll only, they'll let
Yeah. Mhm.
it's like I don't know if sometimes you feel like a firm no. It's not,
All the time. All the time.
like, and it's not, it's funny. I feel like when someone in our human existence gives us a firm no, like our
Hmm.
feelings get hurt. But then like with their firm no, it's like this firm no with like wrapped in love. So you're like,
No,
oh,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's like you don't need to know right now. And like for me, it's interesting because there's a lot of people that come to me and are like, oh, well, like how, like they want to tap into like another person's energy. And I'm like, why don't you just give the other person my info so I can have that intimate conversation? Because the stuff you're trying to access is like trauma is personal. Like, and then like other times where it's just like right now you just don't need to know and people get so upset and then they go to another reader, like what are you doing?
I mean, there's definitely an ethics to it,
Hmm. Yeah.
but I don't know if you've experienced this, but sometimes when people are in it, like when they're in
Yeah.
it, in their trauma, and they're coming to you for answers, sometimes I don't get any information
Yes.
because they're too in it. So it doesn't matter what you
What you say. hmm because they're in that, I mean, I like to say like they're in their shadow,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So me sitting here telling you like whatever it is, like it's gonna trigger you more,
Ooh,
right?
yes.
So
Yeah.
then I'm gonna, sit here and like I feel like depending on the situation, um, yes, I see everything, I receive it, but like I know that I'm not gonna sit here and tell you. Like, with the information that spirit gives me, it's like that helps me better, like, okay, dang, like, this is it. I'm gonna like sugarcoat stuff and I'm just gonna, be the person that you need in the time of your shadow because, you
Yeah.
know,
Right. Right. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because it gets crazy. It gets crazy. I've tapped into some I don't like to read for like family or like even my children, but like I've read their birth charts and we'll pull some cards here and there. And I tapped into like Scarlett and Alea's past life with like what I needed, but Sebastian, he's 4. I don't know what kind of soul he is. I'm not doing that. Okay. He's too young. Scarlett and Alay are not. I get what like I feel is relevant.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not gonna share with my kids what I've seen, but like, it spirit has like given me like what is relevant and like what can help me guide, through the kids and stuff. Um, yeah, what is the youngest you feel that like you can tap into, I guess. Right?
Right. I mean, the youngest that I've tapped into was my stepdaughter, and she was
Yeah,
11.
which is 11.
Yeah, but and then that's it because I have to have permission. And so if you're
100%.
the 4-year-old, like, hey, can I read you? Let me explain.
Right?
Like they're
It's
not.
so, but it's crazy because like I don't know about you, but even like I have to feel called to it. You know,
Mhm.
like even if I were to sit down and even try to, it's like I wouldn't get anything because for what? He's four. You know, and then like when I had tapped into Scarlet, and it was weird because like it was in a meditation, I was seeing things, I was like, what is this? And then you know, like spirit was telling me like, you know, this is relevant. And then I was like, oh, those were past lives. Okay. And yeah, I went with it and I did what I did with Sebastian. It'd be interesting later on in life when he gets older, like what it is. Because I've heard a lot of people, um, they'll be like, you know, just like Sebastian's energy, like he's an old soul, you know. And I'm just like, it'd be interesting later on, you know, to see, you know, what is with him because he's an interesting one. People describe, I guess, like his energy is like he's a Pisces. He's
Mhm.
very loving, you know. They're like he's an old soul, like he kind of reminds me like an old man, and I'm like that's funny. He's only four, but it's nice. It's nice. Um, so what socials do you have?
So you can find me on TikTok at the Intuitive Channel. And then I also have Facebook and Instagram, and it's under my name, just Ina June Bokiran. And
Yeah.
then you can find me that on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm working on a YouTube channel, but you know,
Yes, girl. Are you
I
gonna like be doing informational videos?
so I do have some informational videos currently on
Okay.
my YouTube channel right now, but it's, I mean, it's summertime and I have kids, and so it's a little challenging
Girl.
to have some
Yes.
because I'm like, oh, it's summer, like let's go have fun. I rather just
Same.
want to go have fun. So
Hmm. Pour into the kids. You end up going to splash pads and pools and yeah.
yes.
Hmm. When the kids are home, that's what I've been doing since the summer. Yeah. Do you have a website?
I do have a website. I'm in the middle of making a new one, but my current website has
Okay.
everything that I offer. Like
Yes. Do you do like Zoom or
I
is
do,
it all in person? Because it sounds like you do both, girl.
I do both. I do Zoom and in person. And my website is Loveland Massage and Aesthetic.com. And aesthetic is ESTHTE. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Anyway,
It's okay. I'll link it in the show notes.
perfect. Perfect.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna end it with card pulls for
Cool.
us. Well, actually, I'll do it for you. Well, you and I'm pretty sure it'll be for the collective as well. Let's see. Let's see. I have my This is my self care deck. It's a little just like tiny deck that I have. Let's see what spirit has to say. Let's Okay, let's pull three cards. Okay. Mm,
The suspense is killing me. I want to know. Did she
Okay.
pull?
So, the first card that I pulled, it's interesting because tapping into this energy, we have sweet treat. Okay. And I just feel it's just like this, like, it's just like treating yourself because what I'm seeing is like just celebration, celebrating. I don't know what we're celebrating, girl, but we are celebrating whether it's our small wins or whatever. Um, whether it's like, you know, cupcake, lemon loaf, whatever, just like celebrate. And then connecting. I don't know why I'm seeing a family like together. I don't know if it's like making cookies or what.
Yeah.
sweet treat. And then we have take a walk.
Oh, yes.
Right? Going out, just like in nature and connecting. What element of earth do you feel more connected to?
Oh, what element of earth do I feel more connected to? Probably the earth, like the mountain,
Yeah. Okay.
the
All right.
trees, Like sometimes I'm like,
Mhm.
man, I wish I could just be a tree and just be like,
Right? Just be right there swaying around. Have you ever, I don't know if like you've seen on TikTok those people that are like standing next to a tree and like the branches right here, and they're like, if you can hear me, touch me. And then the tree starts. Have you
I
ever seen that?
no, I haven't.
People do that. But then I'm sitting here and I'm like, I do believe that like there's like spirits and like trees and plants and stuff. But like sometimes I'm like, but there's wind and I can see it. Is that really the truth? And then I become a skeptic, right?
Right, right. Yeah. You're gonna have to try it now. You're gonna have
No,
to try.
100%. When I'll see when I'm in Vegas right now. Well, actually, no, there was a tree at the splash pad yesterday. So I'll see once we go out. Lastly, this is interesting. We have build
Mm,
strength, but spirits are bringing me towards this, and it's the third eye.
yeah.
And I'm seeing like tapping. And as you know, I feel like everyone in the spiritual community, things are going to be like heightened. And it's something that you've already said that things for you are just like going to be heightened. Your intuitive gifts are going to be like more and more heightened. So celebrate yourself, connect with the element of earth more. Sorry, you hear my son in the background. I'm sorry. He's watching something. And then building, strength. And what am I seeing? Community. I'm seeing you with a bunch of women. I don't know if like you're thinking about if this is like sorry.
It's okay. I get it. It's okay.
um okay, let me go back into it. I literally see you doing like vision board stuff with just like a group of women at like, I don't know if this is like a coffee shop. Have you been thinking about getting like a community of women together or no?
Yeah, actually. So I've been thinking about not vision board stuff, but
Yeah.
yesterday was like, I was tapping in yesterday and
Hmm.
they said group sessions. You have to do group sessions. And I was like, really? Really? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So
How do you feel about that?
it's, it's out of, I haven't done group sessions before. Well, I did one sound healing, session with a group of people, but this is more like doing readings and channeling. And so I've never done that before. I mean, it's exciting, but but then also I have my own narrative playing in the back of my mind that I have to surpass. But yeah, so I've been thinking about that. I've also been thinking about doing networking, getting back into doing some networking events. And you know, people are so used to me as a massage therapist, so I would be coming out as a quantum guide and really stepping into that role at these events. So yeah, you're picking that up for sure. And I think the vision
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the vision board represents, it's not a literal vision board. I'm going to be doing that with people. I think it's representing like opening them up to their vision of themselves and of their life. It's like opening up their vision, I feel like is maybe what
Well,
that.
yeah, it's like like literally this whole time that like we've been on here, Spirit's just been showing me a lock and then it being unlocked. That's all I've been seeing in my mind's eye this whole time. And I feel like it's part of like your purpose and your mission, like you said. And maybe like the connection with like the vision board is you're unlocking that for them. They have these goals and these dreams.
Yeah.
So aggressive with it. Good job. Wow. Sorry. But yes, girl, you are just out here unlocking stuff. And you know what? Maybe that lock thing is like you're unlocking something else within you because how you're shifting from the massage. I'm pretty sure you're still gonna have that, right?
Eventually, I'm not going to. I mean, we'll
Girl.
see. I know, we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah.
I love doing it, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm 42.
Oh,
So
you
it,
don't okay. You look like you're my age. I'm turning 31, okay?
so yeah, I mean, at some point I just want to be finished.
Say hello. All right, okay. All right. Yes, your name is Sebastian. All right. Okay, no, but that's so cool. You're unlocking this and I love just like with the quantum, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like you're tapping into another version of you,
Yes,
right?
absolutely it.
We're making connections because the vision board is what people want, right? The vision board is what people want to be. That is their like destination. And
Yes.
you're here like unlocking it and you're like, but the destination's already here.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
That's so
powerful.
nice. Yeah. I love, oh my gosh. I love talking with other, spiritual, you
It
know,
it's amazing.
yeah, it is because it's like these profound like realization
Hmm.
and it's just this understanding, and
Right?
it's I don't know, it's just so cool.
Right? I was feeling like really tired before I hopped on and like I was like, "Oh, I don't even want to." And then like I'm like in this energy and I'm just like, yay!
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Creative, yay! But thank you for what you do. Honestly, you are playing a huge, huge role in the world with like raising vibrations. Like you are a huge part of the future,
Oh,
right?
thank you. Yeah,
And a
thank you.
lot of people.
Yeah, and you are too. And thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
having me on your podcast.
Yes, thank you for being. You were the first one that I'm doing this with. We're gonna see how it plays out. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely excited to hear it. And then yeah, I'm excited for you and your journey and this growing and yeah,
Right.
yes.
Right. 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 Okay, girl. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you. So much love to you. I'm gonna link all your stuff. If any of you want to like book with her, work with her, it'll be in the link. Do you have anything you'd like to offer the audience?
Yeah, so right now I have a free 20-minute Akashic record reading. And then you can book that at my website at lovelandmassageandaesthetic.com. And yeah, and then you can get a reading and have a couple of specific questions that you want answered to. And I mean, we can get a lot of answers in 20 minutes. So
Yes. Yes. Is there like, do you have a limit of questions or we're just going until the 20 minutes is up?
it's kind of just depending on the person, So we just kind of go with the flow.
And
And
the more specific answers you get.
yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So to anyone listening, seeing this, book with your girl, okay? If you're in the Colorado area, get your massage, right? Get your quantum healing. Have you ever thought of doing like a quantum meditation or like a quant I don't know if you've already thought far on like the group, but what if you bring people together in the group for like people outside of themselves, like hyping them, kind of like feeding off each other's energies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that that would happen organically, with
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
kind of people, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be setting up my first
I'm
group session
excited.
pretty soon, so we'll see
I'm
how
excited.
it.
Oh my God. All right, girl. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bye.